Yay, we are
Live.
live.
No need to count.
Yep. Took us maybe about 7 seconds there. Welcome to episode 6 of the weekly. And hi to everyone who's already on the chat. With me is Mr. Warren Bowman. How's it going, man?
All right, thumbs up. Let's do this.
Okay, it's funny. I was just looking at the YouTube video and it started off with an ad of somebody in a banana suit.
Why?
I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So welcome to episode 6. We have Warren here. Juan may join us or not. He's on daddy duty, so see how that is. And of course, Sam will be chiming in as per usual. So let's kick things off. We don't have a uselessness of the week, so if you guys have anything you want to throw into the chat, let us know. Good morning. Hey, Juan, do you have a uselessness? Because Juan just jumped in on the chat, so it means daddy duties in full effect. Let me know if you have one, and then we'll chime in. So let's start off with the first news of the week. We want to talk about NFL on streaming networks. I mean, besides the uselessness of the NFL, which we won't talk about with Deflategate and the fact that PSIs were not recorded, but I just said it.
Other lack of investigation, anything related to Peyton Manning scandal.
A variety is reporting that NFL has been talking to a bunch of services, Apple, Google, and Amazon, expected bidders for streaming. And I like the idea, but if the NFL were smart, I think they should go the Beatles catalog route, stream it everywhere.
Yeah, I think they should really follow what a lot of those companies follow. A lot of what MLB Networks does in terms of streaming content out to their audience. They do a very good job with that, and I know WWE essentially bought that technology, licensed that technology that powers their on-demand service and streaming service as well too. And I don't know if the NBA uses MLB Networks as well too, or they may have developed their own. But I think that's the route you really should try to take and go to when you're talking about streaming out, and instead of just trying to partner with one big brand directly like Apple and Google, and they've been doing a lot with YouTube and Google lately. So it's probably where it's going to lean towards. But much rather his take the onus on themselves to develop that, and then from there push it out.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, I
especially with baseball talking about pushing out individual teams,
yeah,
stream, and that's essentially where a lot of people are going to want to go. The NFL should look at that and say, well, if they're already going to do that, let's follow that route, because that's eventually what we're going to want to be able to do too. People be able to just buy teams directly, and I think a lot of those owners will like that additional revenue to get from other markets.
Oh no, definitely. I mean, it's a couple of options there. One of the first things you want to do is, the NFL app should have been just available to stream and something you could, download on your.
Technically, it does, but
without any restrictions. That's
yeah,
like it should have been. It really should be on my Apple TV, NFL app, right? On my Amazon, on my Xbox, whatever the case may be, should have been literally that, to have streaming available across the board. And then, like you mentioned, having your specific team, me being able to just watch every single Patriot game would make sense.
Yeah.
How's it going, Sam?
That's good. Sam?
I said Sam, not you. You just said good.
Good.
Sam, it's going well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
We have a uselessness, by the way.
Oh, we do?
Yes. Juan Carlos Bagnell sent us the uselessness. Man gets arrested for crashing a drone into the Empire State Building because he went to the cops to ask for it back.
Huh?
How much was this drone?
Oh, yeah, that's...
for him to go back and ask for it.
Did this happen recently? Because I remember something happening like this last year.
This happened on Monday. I'm sorry, Thursday. It happened Thursday in Manhattan. A New Jersey native drone has recently crashed into the Empire State Building. Unlike the person whose machine hit Seattle's Great Wheel, he didn't get away with it. Authorities have arrested the man, and NBC affiliates identified as Sean Naveen Riddle after his drone struck the iconic building's 40th floor, ultimately landing on the 35th. While authorities didn't mention the drone's purpose was flying around NYC, a man with the same name tweeted he was using a UAV to film until it hit the skyscraper. The pilot made it easy for cops to arrest him by asking the building security personnel for his drone back. In the tweet we linked above,
Well, this is the question. He's flying a drone around the Empire State Building, taking footage. Is that illegal?
No, see, that's the thing. It might be a little tricky because he might. I'm not sure how it is.
I'm trying to understand why this dude's getting arrested.
Might need a license.
Yeah. You might need. You always need permission for doing aerial shots, and he might have been doing it for a movie. Who knows? I mean, that's very possible. Maybe
or just collecting B-roll.
Yeah, but maybe he just didn't get the right permission for it. It kind of comes off that way, but you know, of course. You know, he might have just gotten arrested immediately. Like, you flew what?
That depends what the size of the drone was. It could have been endangered people. That was a big deal. Maybe that was it.
Yeah. Well, I think that people are just worried about those things falling on someone and hurting and harming them. And of course in New York we've heard there's far other things that could fall on you and hurt you rather than a drone.
Ice. Over the last few days, like ice.
Or a crane. But
That's not funny.
It's not funny.
Well, Juan said NYC has a lax and inexpensive permit for shoots compared to LA, so maybe he just
didn't get it.
I mean,
or maybe it's just simply like, you know, the endangering of people. Because if that's the case, then the permits issue might not be there. It might just be the fact that he probably endangered people.
Well, speaking of drones, quickly, the FCC, FAA said that any drone comes in 36 miles of the Super Bowl will be shot down.
Damn! With what? Fighter jets? That would be awesome.
I want to. Within how close? Within how close?
I think it's 36 miles. Okay.
I was about to say
that would be awesome if they had like Federale drones just flying around shooting this thing down.
Oh, it's gonna turn into TIE fighting.
Ever.
It's turn into TIE fighting in the middle of the
dog fights.
Yeah, like. Moving back, I want to get your thoughts on this. NFL has been talking to Apple, Google, Amazon as expected bidders for streaming their contents online. Just to quickly summarize what Warren and I were saying, we were talking about the NFL should just have had its own app and have it something that you purchase and then you can stream on any of those networks and not going to one specific carrier.
It's good. They're making a very, very good business plan. Simply this: they own the content, they license the content, they get the money. No hardware or servers or anything or development costs on their side. Let Google, Apple, and Amazon do all that work, and they just rake in the licensing fees.
Yeah,
but the problem, none of them really have a great proven network for that outside of Google and YouTube versus what MLB Networks does with their content, which they've licensed to other people, their technology to use for streaming, which is far better.
Well, the thing is this, right? We know Amazon is trying to build its viewership based on its Prime offerings, right? We know Google has YouTube Red, which this is probably going to be a YouTube Red kind of product if it actually comes out. Now, it is rumored that Apple is going out there to try to create its own streaming TV service. Yeah. So all these guys are working on technology that, right off the bat is going to have a huge user base, right? I don't think the user base just for one particular kind of content is going to supersede the kind of content and the user base for the kind of content that Amazon, Google, and possibly Apple is going to have. So from a usership perspective, I think it's better to go with these guys because they're going to consistently upgrade and make the product better.
I disagree. I disagree because the NFL has a larger viewership than any of those people right now, other than YouTube itself, which is big. And again, too, I'm sorry, you're getting tax breaks from me to actually have an NFL team, and then I must eventually just have Apple TV just to watch it if I'm not gonna have a TV service. No, I mean have it open. Have it everywhere.
But the same thing goes for stadiums. So you don't want to pay when you're gonna go see the.
But I'm saying, but even for the stadium, dude, it's my tax dollars that are subsidizing to get the stadium. No, I'm saying, make an app, have it available on every service, so that because if the NFL was smart, what they really want to do is when I buy my next Samsung TV, NFL's right there.
Well, here we
go. I mean, that's what you want. You want everyone to eventually jump to football fully.
Yeah, but it's better if they follow. I'm sorry, I kept saying MLB Networks. It's actually MLB Advanced Media, who actually creates the streaming technologies. Obviously, they did it with MLB.com and MLB Networks for that, but they power Watch ESPN, they power the WWE Network, they power the Yes Network in baseball, they power the International League in MLB, they power Ice Networks and the PGA Tour.
Wow.
So to me. And I've used it. I've used it with MLB before, and I've used it also with WWE, and it's solid. It's absolutely what you want to have. It's essentially they would take, if they were smart, they would take the NFL Network and app it out. That's exactly what it would kind of turn into, and you can stream content through it. It works on several different devices. Works over 3G and 4G connections. You get a nice 1080p stream out of it, consistent 1080p stream with it as well too. It's to me, it's a no-brainer. They should license the technology. I think if they try to go with a Google and Amazon, who have their hands in multiple different pots of things, and this isn't a core focus for them, I think they're going to run into a little bit of trouble. I think they're going to run into something that's not going to be as high quality as a product as they should be putting out with with baseball. The NBA has something similar they developed too. But either one, they look at your brethren in that's in sports media and say, well, Jesus, they're making a whole lot of money doing this, and we're basing the bet with ESPN anyways. They're powering the ESPN app, so and the ESPN app works very well as well too for streaming content, getting information, and it works, and it can get it to work across multiple devices: your Xbox, your cable box, your phone, tablet, laptop, desktop, whatever. It all just works the same and in unison. So to me, that's where I think they should be going. If they're going directly with this one of these people, they're trying to sell it on the name rather than sell it on the offering or the quality of the offering. And obviously, whatever they do, it's going to sell well at first because it's American, it's football, and it's just going to do its thing. But at the same time, no matter how big or how popular something is, if it isn't of quality, eventually fans will dissipate and leave from it. So,
yeah, I think also the thing is also you're just limiting fan bases. I will never buy an Apple TV just because of the NFL if it goes to Apple. I just won't.
I think they'd be more complaints. To me, I think they'd be more complaints if it's with an Apple and exclusive on one of their platforms. I think their best bet, if they're not going to choose, like I said, MLB Advanced Media or some type of company that specializes in streaming services, if you slap it on Google and YouTube, put it behind a paywall, at least hell, everybody can access YouTube no matter what device it's on, and that at least doesn't limit the audience to specific hardware. You give this to Apple, they're going to limit it to specific hardware, and I guarantee you, no one, that's not going to fly with anyone. And the only other people I can think of that can use from technology standpoint is maybe deepen that partnership with Microsoft and look to distribute through them as well.
I'm not so sure that Apple would have this sequestered to their own ecosystem.
Oh, they would. Oh, they absolutely would. That's how they function and operate. They've never changed.
I think that's like.
No, they will change because I know Tim Cook talked about more Apple apps coming to
Android and
yeah, but initially I think it would be locked down for a little.
Oh, you kidding? No, those board of investors locked down. They would want to lock down for 3 to 5 years. They would lock it down.
Realistically, if I was Apple and I had this opportunity, I would basically open it up to everyone and get as much of a base to launch my TV streaming app as possible. So keeping it to your ecosystem really doesn't benefit them.
You gotta remember that they are a hardware company that doesn't think.
No, they're a services company.
They're trying to be a services company. Using that juncture there, let's go to the next topic, talking about the most valued companies. Beginning of the week, before I sent this out, Alphabet became the most, had the highest market cap of $54.7 billion, passing Apple. But at the end of closing on Friday, Apple passed Alphabet again. Number 3 is Microsoft at about around 425, and number 4 is Facebook. I wanted to get your thoughts on some of the valuation and what you think some of these companies are doing in general, because you have Alphabet, top dog. Alphabet and Apple switching between 1 and 2, Microsoft and Facebook, and of course ExxonMobil is 5. what do you think about how these companies are using this in terms of moving forward? We know what Microsoft has been doing in trying to revamp. What do you think about Apple, Alphabet, and say Facebook? I'll start with you, Sam.
I just think it's very telling that the top 5 in there is basically congested with tech companies. There was a time where oil companies would basically run all of that, but there's only one oil company, ExxonMobil. That's only one company there, so that's kind of interesting. Apple, I think Apple has an issue. I think Apple has an innovation issue, and I think that's what we're seeing. Google is catching up to Apple because I think people understand, or people have the perception that Google is doing more on the innovation side than Apple is, and Google is going to continue having market share. Microsoft, they're doing well, but personally, I don't know how well they're doing, but I guess the market is saying Microsoft is doing pretty well. We saw the stock price jump up a little bit ago, so that's pretty good for them. But Facebook, I think Facebook to me is the more interesting one. The reason we have people like Yahoo, I know we're going to get to this later. The reason we have companies like Yahoo running into problems with advertising revenue, and the reason we have companies like Google trying to basically put AI into their search, I would say, architecture is simply because of companies like Facebook. Facebook is a growing titan that is just coming up, and no one knows how to address Facebook. And it's kind of weird because what people will perceive as Facebook's issue, in that it was more of a social site than something else, is exactly what's causing these guys problems. Because I don't think they understand exactly what Facebook is as well. So Facebook is coming in and eating ad revenue. Facebook right now had to start. I didn't even realize this, but Facebook stopped pages that sell ammunition. Seriously? Well, that sells guns and ammunition. Facebook is cracking down on that. So people are selling stuff on Facebook. Facebook is its own ecosystem for search and commerce. So this is going to be a problem to Google and other companies out there. So these guys are scrambling to try to find anything and everything. So I think Facebook to me is a more interesting one. It's a rising titan. Google, it's kind of obvious that Google's going to eat Apple's lunch. It's been doing that, especially on the news that iPhone and iPad sales haven't been doing too well. Actually, iPad sales are basically non-existent. And you have a company like Microsoft that is consistently trying to reinvent itself. So, yeah.
Warren?
These valuations bounce up and down, left and right. And one day one company's valued one way, and then one company valued another way. So it's kind of hard to, like, I guess, take them serious. The top 5 of the top 5, but who's number 1 can vary within minutes of each other sometimes. I think Alphabet going up in the direction that it's going into, and it's just going to kind of keep going that way, is because Google's having a strategy finally of realizing that they need to sort of diversify what they do and branch out and break out companies and have them have a focus. Actually have a focus. That's something that's new to Google outside of search. They never focus on anything else. So both search and Android, the 2 things they've ever directly focused on was search and mobile.
Yeah.
And mobile. YouTube is something they fell on, which I don't think they still know how well what they're doing with it for the most part. I think Apple's, like Sam said, is having an innovation issue because there's not a lot of there's not a lot of things that they've spent in research and development for to push things out. We always hear of these secret things and things they're doing in these white coded labs and stuff like that, but it never produces itself out into anything, or we never really see much of anything. So it's kind of it's kind of, for me, they need to get for Apple to continue to be competitive in here, they need to go back to the drawing board of either innovating and inventing something, or they need to look at what the competition has, create a version of what they have, and but do it in a way that it pleases the Apple audience and could attract a Google person or a Windows person to come and use their product, because that's exactly what everyone else did. They saw what you had and said, all right, we're going to try and make our own version of that, spin it our way, and eventually somewhere down the road, 5-10 years down the road, maybe we'll innovate and invent something. Because it's very rare that it's hard to ask someone to innovate something every single year. That's not something you can necessarily do it. But you got to have some products in between then before you get that. Like Microsoft did a whole bunch of different little things, and then the Surface hit, and then that's been their thing that they've sort of innovated and made. And since then, they've just kind of rolled out the same sort of stuff, kind of going forward, but products to keep the one thing that they have innovative going. Apple kind of did the iPhone, and then he kind of did the iPad. It's more revolutionary. I would say they more the smartphone. I think they did a greater job in innovating that to make it out to the public masses. That's probably the greatest innovation they've done. The iPad was more or less looking at everyone else that was making really crappy Android tablets and essentially just creating a better product in that category. So we haven't seen them do anything else. Nothing on the laptop side, nothing on the desktop side, nothing in really terms of services, because iTunes Music isn't anything new. It's like all the other services out there. iTunes was an innovative product that they made when they were really the main digital distribution,
for music.
And didn't they just shut down their streaming service as well?
They shut down Beats Music. They shut down Beats, but which was inevitable. Everybody kind of figured that was eventually going to happen. But it's those things that Apple just hasn't pushed out. So they milked the cow as long as they could with iTunes and with the iPhone, and in some degree with the iPad as well too. Now they're forced to try and make something new. You have Microsoft that's just now really starting to probably see the prime of what their Surface line of products are going to be able to do. Google has Android, and has really been milking that in so many different ways, in so many different categories, and so many different services on mobile that they're doing a good enough job in doing it. So, we're really just speaking on tech giants, really, and then this. Where does Apple fit in? They don't have anything that's a forever thing. Like Google can forever last on search because they essentially invented the damn thing. So it's their thing, their baby. They're known for it. They'll never lose that. If they lose every other business in the world, they can sit back on that business and still make billions of dollars off of it because they essentially index the internet.
I think one of the things to look at with those companies is that, going back to what Sam said with Facebook is the most dangerous one out there. Facebook just recently stopped the charges for WhatsApp. WhatsApp is at 1 billion users, and people are like, what's WhatsApp? WhatsApp is now the other section of Facebook algorithm for just getting social content to share. That's on a more low budget scale, because WhatsApp does not require you. I mean, WhatsApp is not a social network, but it's also a social network. For people who use WhatsApp, you realize how you connect with. I connect with like my family back in Nigeria and things like that. It has its own.
Well, it's definitely more of a, obviously, I think, international messenger. If you talk to people, I think in the U.S. themselves, they're funny. We're always behind. While everybody else was on. Everybody else was on MSN and Yahoo. We were on AIM, thinking it was the greatest thing in the world. Now everybody else is on these other things. We're still using text like it's the greatest thing in the world.
What I'm saying is behind. It's not really even that. It's just the fact that they have other avenues, and they're looking for things. I wouldn't be surprised that Facebook might even want to buy Yahoo at some very reduced price and have that as their newsfeed, because that's just the only thing Yahoo does well. We'll talk about Yahoo in a second. Moving to Microsoft. Microsoft has a lot of things that they're trying to do, and some of the things they're doing well. Although it's a little disconcerting that iPad Pro supposedly sold more than all the Surfaces combined last quarter, which I find really shocking. But we'll get to that one also.
I think there's some funny numbers going on.
Yeah, he thinks so as well.
We'll talk about that in a second. But going to Apple, because I'm looking at the chat here, and there's this discussion between Serge, Juan, and Sam here. To put it in perspective, Apple has not innovated in quite a while. The thing about Apple and its products is that if you look at the things that Apple has done to innovate, the innovation of the iPhone was bringing smarts and the phone together. That's one. Mm-hmm. The innovation of iTunes. iTunes was probably, to me, the biggest thing in terms of innovation Apple's ever done, in the sense that they brought service and they brought functionality to single and multiple products through iTunes. And then they stopped innovating that. The problem they're facing is that if you look at some of the statistics, is that Apple right now, they said iPhone sales are flat and will probably dip this year. Also, iPad sales were flat, and actually, no, declining iPad sales.
Declining iPad
sales. Declining iPad sales. But here's the tricky part. 37% of iPhone users are still stuck on a 4-inch iPhone, which means iPhone 5 or less.
Yeah.
That is why the rumors and also the fact that at some point we realize that the iPhone 5 SE is coming out, because Apple is trying to do a stopgap, meaning if we can get all those people, all that 37%, to switch over to at least a 5 SE, that means more revenue in the iPhone department, which is showing that the company is not looking at doing innovative things. Now, some of the stuff that Serge was asking about is the fact that if you look at everything the iPhone does, it is done in reaction right now to Android, especially Samsung. I mean, whether you want to compare sales or not, the problem is that in terms of purely innovating, the camera, they just eventually bumped up to 4K, which we've all been doing for quite a while. The display finally got to a resolution higher than 720p. Let's just call it what it is.
Yep.
Right? The display technology is not even OLED, so let's even throw that out the window. There's so many things. I'm not saying it's a bad device. What I'm saying is that compared to their best competition, which is Samsung, in terms of innovating, we can always make fun of Samsung for throwing a bag of kitchen sink in there, right?
And also copying. Let's be true.
Yeah.
They also copied.
But everybody does that. But Samsung has also done things in innovating. So I think what it is that Apple is in a dilemma, which they're protected with the amount of cash they have. I think they're stuck in a position where they either have to find a way to spend more money in innovating, which I don't think they will, or they either look at certain companies to start buying that innovate and then have some traction there. Go the pharma route. That's what most pharmaceutical companies do. They buy smaller pharma companies. They don't make anything. So that's what you're looking at in those perspectives with Apple. Now, before we do it, I just want to switch gears on the iPad Pro numbers. It came out that the iPad Pro sold better than the whole Surface line completely. So I mean, I looked at the numbers and your thoughts. There's thoughts. Let's do that quickly because we have a few more things to move on to.
I don't believe it.
Any reason why?
Well, realistically, even in the let me just put it this way: I don't have a factual reason. I don't know what the actual shipped versus sold numbers are. I don't know any of that, but I just don't believe it. I just don't want to. I don't want to live in a world where the iPad Pro is actually.
Well, okay, I'll put it this way: the numbers were 1.6 iPad Pros shipped, 1.3 Surface Pros shipped. But that number is really low because they said all the Surface Pros. Surface Pro 3 sold more than that in terms of.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know what
confused versus sold it actually is.
But the other thing I'll throw this quickly is my own personal anecdotal evidence. Walking around, especially now I live in New York City, I have not seen an iPad Pro in the wild. I've seen Surfaces out there, whether it's older or new, so who knows?
Yeah. Actually, I've seen Surface Books as well. I have seen 2 Surface Books in the wild.
But I've yet to see a giant iPad out there.
Bro.
So, I mean, I don't know. Warren, what do you think before we move on to the next one?
It seems like they're basing the story off of shipments and not necessarily sold because, iPad shipped more than the Surface, so that means they've outsold, which, no, it's a story they're trying to spin essentially to make some controversy, which I'm actually happy for the tech community that did not really jump and spin and buy all into this because I think everyone's logic just kind of hit them like, wait a minute, no. It's just to tell me that iPad Pro outsold the essentially 3 Surface models and the 3 Pro, the 4 Pro, and the Surface Book and the regular Surface 3. To say it's outsold all of those would be mystifying, and that would be a number that Apple would have had their own press conference about and would have bragged their asses off about. Are you kidding me? Tim Cook would have jumped on MSNBC so damn fast your head would have been spinning. He would have. He'd have hopped on there all happy, go lucky, and talking as much shit as he possibly could have. When your CEOs ain't talking shit, that number ain't legit.
That's very true. That's actually a very good way to look at it. If Tim Cook is not out there basically just like giving you the break dance and everything, nah, it's not true.
Trust me, if Bomber was also around, he was also on iPad, you see his ass out there. He go in the middle of Clippers court and start dancing and shit.
Moving on to Yahoo. We'll talk about Yahoo quickly. You know, we kind of briefly talked on them. Yahoo cut 15% of its workforce. They are looking to sell. And that's the word.
Looking to sell for 5 years, so.
but this is the more drastic step.
We have big names now. They have big names looking at them now. We have Bain Capital. Secret. And I've forgotten who the other private equity firm is. They're actually looking at strategies and buying Yahoo's core business. Yeah. And that should really kind of dawn on people that we're looking at the end of an era. I think Yahoo was one of the old, original search engines. Yahoo been around for a while.
Yahoo was one of the
Icos.
Well, they were the original email.
Emails, search engine, you name it. So I think the problem with Yahoo is Yahoo has gone through CEO states of focus. I mean, the founder of Yahoo took Yahoo too far off the rail because he just didn't know where to take his company to, I think. And then Melissa,
he tried to Google without having the control or loose control that Google has around doing multiple different businesses.
And Melissa tried. I think her initial efforts bringing the company some like news focus was great. Because Yahoo is a really good. I think it's a really good news source.
The earning numbers were good. Yeah. The earning numbers beat expectations. It's just the fact that they're expecting for 2016, they're expecting their revenues to drop. And then the government
everybody
giving them. Yeah, but the government isn't giving them an indication, especially with the Alibaba stuff. They were actually going to go and spin off Alibaba, but they couldn't do it because the IRS didn't give them a clear statement saying they weren't going to tax it. It was going to be a tax-free spin-off. So if it's not going to be a tax-free spin-off, the estimates were looking at about $10 billion in taxable, $10 billion in like a tax bill.
Ouch.
Nah, yeah, exactly. So they had some bum luck on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where I would like Yahoo just to stay around, and if somebody were to pick them up, maybe still keep Yahoo. Some of those aspects of Yahoo that still. I don't think it's going to go away, just like Motorola is. But I think the idea of Yahoo becoming just one specific thing is probably what's going to remain. That news front and email pretty much might be it in my mind.
Well, you got to remember that they have 3 big businesses. Few big businesses still within it. They are news, they are mail, they are sports and fantasy. They're big. They're probably the biggest ones at that. They're also Tumblr and Flickr as well too.
Flickr, Tumblr revenues didn't do too well also.
I see whoever buys these companies. This will keep Yahoo as Yahoo. Whoever's going to buy it, the name just has so much brand recognition with it. So whoever buys it will stay that name. I don't think that's gonna change. What I think will change is that they will slim down a lot of their businesses, and will most likely sell off businesses that maybe necessarily they don't need. I could see them honestly selling off a Tumblr and expanding what they can do in Flickr, because Flickr could be a good competitor to Instagram. If done, in the right way.
Flickr could have been.
Could have been, not anymore.
Flickr could have been Instagram and Pinterest combined into one.
Not even that. Imgur as well. It could have been all those three combined
into one.
There's still an opportunity, I think, at Flickr to make something happen of that. Because that's a recognizable brand. Tumblr, I think, is useless. I'll always say it's useless. It's like Blogger. It's like they need to do with a Blogger. Man, it's just over there in the corner somewhere. I think there is an opportunity for whoever does buy into the company to be able to do something. I don't think it will be one of the big 5 tech giants. I think it'll be similar to how Sprint got bought by SoftBank. It'll be somebody just out of that sort of loop that's looking into getting into sort of the tech space that will probably buy them up and will probably get approved to buy them up, because I really don't know. I really don't know if the other five will be able to buy this up and not have a million questions asked them about it.
This was a quick one, not really commenting on it, but in terms of companies that are selling, Sharp, it has two bidders for it. One is a Japanese company, which is government backed, and the other one is Foxconn. The Japanese company is offering Sharp, it's going to offer probably about 2.6 billion, and Foxconn is looking to buy it at 5.5 because Foxconn wants to get its own brand. Because they're the biggest manufacturer for everyone on the planet.
I've seen another HTC coming out.
Yeah, I was going to say, HTC is coming up.
And I like the play because as long as, if Foxconn can help streamline a lot of Sharp businesses and in terms of the manufacturing side, and then still keep the brand name and productivity out there, they can go back in the TV business at a low cost. They can go back in the cell phone business, in the mobile business, and also at a low cost too, because Foxconn covers that.
The problem is going to be innovation, which is the same thing that HTC ran into. Whereas they stagnated after a while. It became an OEM company that was trying to play with big boys like Samsung and Apple and LG, and all of a sudden, they just couldn't do it. So I'm very, very skeptical.
I think it depends on what Foxconn decides to do on keeping a lot of the innovative units in Sharp. Sharp has a lot. I mean, these guys were the big LCD producers for a while, and they just didn't move past certain things. Sharp has a bunch of technologies that are really good. Yeah. So it's whether Foxconn decides to spend money on those, improving those sectors that will help them innovate, I think is the biggest thing, or down the line, or maybe they will just steal all the tech they're using from everybody as their form of innovation, since they're manufacturers for everyone, right? Yeah. That could be it, but who knows? But it'll be interesting to see how that turns out with Foxconn. Next topic here, let's move on to MWC and cell phones. So images or renders for the S7 have come out. It looks like the S6, maybe a little bit more streamlined in a sense. But here are the things I wanted to talk about quickly with the S7. It was, I think last week, the Russian developer said that it will do 17 hours of video playback. Now it says there's word that it will last 2 days on a single charge. So the battery is stated to be 3,000 on the S7, and the edge is about 3,400 milliamps. So in terms of those numbers you're hearing, it sounds like it's a combination of battery, also the processor, and some of the tech that Samsung's putting in there. Do you think this would be enough to calm some of those voices we were talking about, removable battery? Because Samsung is definitely not going back to that.
No one's going back to that. But if they can give you 2 days of battery, dude, seriously, if it turns out to be realistically on full use, half of that, I'm sold. I'm sold.
So just a day and a half, or a day and like 4 hours, you're good?
A day and 4 hours. No, you know what? A day, a full 24 on full use. Now I'm talking full use. 24.01. Just 24 hours and 1 second. I'm sold. I'm not even joking. 1 second off of 24 hours, I am sold. Because right now I have to charge my phone multiple times during the day. And that's because I use Bluetooth headsets. I'm always jumping from Wi-Fi to something else, GPS or whatever. I use my GPS on.
Well, you have a Note 5 too, right?
And I have a Note 5.
I have a Note 5. I have to want to comment on the Note. After a while, I have noticed that it seems like the battery life is not as good as the Note 4. Yeah. It seems to be there's something there that I'm not quite sure what it is. That it's tipped down. Just not a great deal, but it's definitely noticeable if you're like a Note user.
If you're a heavy user, you have to charge your phone more than once in a day.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
Yeah. All right. So I think we all like that. LG sent out official invites for the event on the 21st. They're going head-to-head against Samsung. It's called LG G5 Day. The event is in the early afternoon. Samsung's in the evening in Barcelona. But my question is this magic slot that everyone's called innovative. Like, that's the word. I really cannot see the innovation in it. I'm not trying to poo-poo LG on this one, because all it is a battery door that slides the battery down from the bottom. I don't know what else you're going to use in as an accessory port for that. But what do you think about the design of the the G5 in terms of them changing. We know where Warren's going to go with that volume key at the back to the side. But what do you think about the general design and also the fact that it's going with 2 cameras? The same rumor that Apple is going to be using the 2-camera system with the iPhone 7. What do you think about that as a whole?
I don't have really much of a thought on it per se. I wish we had Juan here so he could really get into the whole camera thing here. But, I personally think if it's given a better experience or better, if it's giving you better quality photos, that's great, because more and more, I'm sure anyone who is into photography and even in the slightest way would know the best camera is the camera you have on you. So if it's turning out to be a better experience for the camera, easier to use, easy for it to a faster launch time, hey, that's good. I don't know what the 2 cameras exactly will be used for. Probably what, depth of field, you think?
Well, HTC tried this, and we don't know exactly. I mean.
Yeah. But LG has tried innovating with cameras before with the laser on the I believe it was a G4. They had that
G4 and the V10, yeah.
So that's they have shown
G3
that they're
and
willing to
G4
experiment. Yeah, they're willing to experiment on that. So that I guess is good news. I guess with the bottom port though, I think it's something that might catch on potentially if it's that, hey, instead of you getting a phone or a new release of a phone halfway through the year, you basically just buy another one of those extendable whatever, and it comes with more processing speed or whatever. That would be pretty cool. It's left to be seen exactly what that attachment does. So.
Quick comment here from Juan. He says, I still don't think the dual-core camera photography, if it jacks up OIS, it's a fail. So that's his concern there. And I'm also concerned because the flash is in the middle of the 2 cameras. So is it is it just one camera taking photo and the other one is depth? Because if it's the flash in the middle of 2 lenses, and it's taken at the same time, to me, I have no idea. I really don't. So I mean, we'll see what it is on the 21st, how that takes photos in time, but.
My concern about these new devices is not so much the cameras and stuff. It's just the Snapdragon processor. This thing actually going to be good this go around, and
no, I think it will. I mean,
because we've all had the taste of now using Exynos processors with Samsung software, and it's been a whole hell of a lot better of an experience.
I think now that because they've finally gone away from the ARM architectural build. And all early reports. I mean, again, it was the guys from Anto and 2 who did early reports last year and said something is wrong with this thing. So the fact that we're not hearing that this year, at least I'm leaning on to the fact, and also the fact that Samsung is willing to go back to that. So I would say either Samsung has helped them with something, or maybe they worked in partnership to say, okay, look, here are some things you could do, change, blah blah blah, this and that. That I think it'll be fine. I think we should be good with the A20 processor in there. Let's see. And Juan says, I think it could be a fun gimmick, but optically, I think we're stuck until we can find a way to shrink a 2/3 inch sensor in there. And then, what could an accessory port bring that we can't do with USB Type-C? Very good point. I mean,
well, it streamlines the phone, really. You take one accessory port out and you put another one that's identical to it. It just streamlines the whole experience, rather than having different connections for different things you want to put in your phone. That's just me assuming. We still don't know exactly what this is.
I mean, the phone's already going to use USB Type-C anyway.
No, so let's put it this way. If you want to increase the processing power of your phone, let's say halfway through the year they come out with a Qualcomm 825, right? And you're like, you got to make a decision, whatever. Okay, you take your old phone, pull it back out, slide into whatever, and you get the bumping specs. That would be pretty cool. I mean,
if you can house the extra processing in there on that bottom portion, because from all indications, it's sliding out the battery, and they must be. I mean, I guess it could be like an expansion pack for the N60.
When I see this sliding, I see basically, it might be a battery, it might be a case that holds the battery, and there might be other things on there. So that's the thing.
Maybe it's a battery holder to charge the external battery that helps charge the internal battery. So you have 2 batteries charging at the same damn time.
Warren wins. He wins. 2 batteries at the same damn time.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Moving on from that. Can anybody share the image I sent? So from all indication, it looks like HTC is not going to make any major announcements because we've heard rumors that they're going to do something separately in March, which I actually like because HTC right now.
Well, they're in a position LG was like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and with the mess that's been going, not the mess, but the competition that's going on right now on Sunday alone with Huawei, LG, and Samsung, you might as well just go away from the fight. But if anyone,
I'm a little curious about Huawei, what Huawei is going to be doing because Huawei had a big showing at CES. So do they have something monumentally better up their sleeves, or are they just going to be, launching the same thing in a different package? So I'm a little skeptical for Huawei, but the fact that LG is going head to head with Samsung, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Now back on.
Yeah,
I remember the last time he did this. I have to bring this up. It was in New York. Remember the last time these two went against each other? It was the Optimus G.
Yeah.
That they announced that they could put up against the It was the S2 or S3 or something like that.
It was the S3, and Samsung had buses right outside with
Yeah. It was like shade thrown.
Because LG did theirs first thing in the morning. It was like 9 o'clock.
It was like 9 a.m.
9 in the morning. And then Samsung had buses. They had Steve Nash out there.
Yeah.
It was Samsung put up a show.
It was for the Galaxy S3. I remember that.
At the end of the day, I forgot that LG released something that day. I swear to God, because I walked out with the Galaxy S3 also right there. Samsung was like, "Oh, we're gonna put this to bed right now."
but if you notice the way LG did the invites, at least when I got the invites, it's like you have to use a code to go to a site to sign in and make sure that only you can use the code. So it's like, are they gonna out Samsung this time around? Are they really gonna out Samsung? So we'll see.
I mean, both of those companies have spies in there. Samsung last minute could just change plans and be like, "Hey, everybody, take it."
Samsung comes in and all you see is it's an LG. Then why are these Samsung ushers here? Like, here you go, S7. S7, and you get it. And you get an S7. And Oprah comes on stage, and everyone gets an S7.
I mean, God, if one of them paid, one tech company just paid her to come out and do that.
Oh my man.
God.
No, not to announce anything. Oprah just walks out and goes, and everybody gets you can't pay Oprah for the full thing. You just have to pay her for those lines.
Yeah.
Roughly about 40 seconons on stage. That's it.
Everybody in the audience would just clap harder than life. They literally would.
You see Grown Geek here, Oprah! Sorry, you're going on track here for a little bit. But yeah, can anybody share that image of HTC? I sent an image of the leaked M10 device. This is by Evan Bass, aka EV Leaks. It looks like the A9. There's no HTC logo in the front. I don't know if anyone, because I can't share right now.
I'm seeing if I can.
See if we can get that up for you guys. Apologize. Last time I tried to share was yesterday, and my screen crashed. Oh, there it is. Could you? Take it back a little bit. So it looks like the A9 and a little iPhone-ish.
It looks like, oh my gosh!
But it does have
I know what it looks like
on the bottom.
You know what it looks like?
What?
Remember the Galaxy Prime? Not Prime. What the heck was the name of it? It was the Galaxy phone that came out for only AT&T.
Oh, the Alpha?
Alpha. It looks like the Alpha.
Nah, not really though. It looks more iPhone than anything else. I mean, I agree with Juan.
The Alpha is
Alpha had that polish.
But if you look at the outside of it and that outer metal rim, it looks very, very similar to it.
Nah, I mean, because the Alpha was angular though. This thing is so iPhone rounded. I'm looking at my iPhone right now. It looks exactly like it.
I don't know. If you might want to look at that A7 again. The Galaxy Alpha again.
Yeah, I see it. Juan said Alpha had the no four corners. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it had the no four corners, but
yeah, I mean, from what we can see here, volume rocker on the right-hand side, power button. What I can't see, hopefully, is hidden underneath are those front-firing speakers, which HTC they do a very good job with those. So I hate to see that disappear just because they are trying to, change the design look here.
Yeah, that would be disappointing if they did that. But maybe they find a better way to
hide
produce
it
those
on
hide it under the
speakers.
names. Or maybe they find a way to push the technology through Bluetooth instead, maybe some way, so you can get the enhancements through the headphones, which is what majority of people are going to use when listening to music on their device, or listening to anything on their device. So
Brandon says it looks like a Mizu MX5. Brandon, no, I didn't say there's no boom sound. Calm down. I just said I cannot physically see the grills for for the speakers. I'm not saying there's no boom sound. You know,
Dan's like, no boom sound. I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done.
Sir, so surprisingly, other companies don't have front-firing speakers. It's a no-brainer. Why is the power button on the volume the same? I see. I'm not keen on this power and like the volume on top of the power. I don't like it.
Well, that's it's the same thing that the Nexus 6 has. The power and the volume being on the same side. It throws me off every time, but it's not the worst thing ever. It just throws me off.
Oh, Brandon's laughing. Okay, yeah, thanks for trying to put me on the spot there for saying there's no boom sound. All right, moving on from there. A couple of acquisitions this week. Microsoft bought SwiftKey for $250 million, following Microsoft's new tradition of buying up interesting app companies and services so they can go on cross platforms. But a couple of things I heard is that Microsoft is buying SwiftKey for its AI predictive technology to supplement some of theirs and also to use across the board for the other services. What do you think about the acquisition in terms of just buying SwiftKey in the first place?
well, it's a pretty good purchase to have. I think it allows them to have access to more devices across, and maybe combine some of their technology that they have in their key, because they have a very good keyboard
Yeah.
that they have, and kind of merge it with SwiftKey. So our predictability might be a really good match. We'll have to see.
Sam?
I think it's just, for me, it just seems that Microsoft is buying developers for cross-platform software or cross-platform applications or apps, because I don't really see why they need to buy SwiftKey. If you're talking about AI, they have a very good server-side AI that we see being used for video games. So I'm not too sure why they made this purchase. But
When I read the article about the AI, there were some specific things he talked about how SwiftKey's AI is really spot on, especially when it comes to specific user, like individual use. So I think that might be the one aspect that they don't have, and they're like, all right, fine, we need some of that in there. That might make sense.
Then maybe someone can tell the AI to stop predicting craziness when I type stuff in.
SwiftKey. I haven't used them in a while though, since they've been built into Samsung for a little bit now, and plus they had those issues earlier on with TouchWiz and Android and Samsung, and
and they also had some issues with iOS. Whenever somebody makes a big change to the operating system, yeah, they had some issues initially with iOS too, and eventually fixed that. Zag bought Mophie for $100 million, which is very interesting. The only reason why I say this is interesting is because Mophie has always put itself as like the top premier iOS or battery pack, manufacturer, and Zag, who has been more of a budget dude, or at least I call them mid-range more than anything else. Out of nowhere, just bought them up.
Well, Zag makes all the screen protectors, which they probably sell far more screen protectors than cases, because how many people you see with a Mophie case versus a screen protector on their iPhone? I mean, that's just pure numbers. They sell a lot of those damn screens. And those Mophie cases, and those Mophie things I have not seen as often as I had seen in the past. I think some people just don't like the bulkiness in the end of the day, and I think rather just have a less subpar battery life than bulk up their phone because they can't fit into their skinny jeans when they go into Starbucks to order some grand mocha blah 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 while writing their stuff on their iPad Pro.
I think it has to be mentioned that Zag owns Invisible. I think it's Invisible Shield, and iFrogs, I think.
Yeah. So they own several brands in there.
Yeah. So hey, they probably have a bigger, wider consumer presence than Mophie. So it might just be a numbers game, like Warren said. They might just outsell Mophie. Simple as that.
Could be it. And then final Google topic here. This is pertaining to the Nexus. It looks like Google is looking to take more control of the Nexus line, which I thought they already had. But this is a report coming in from Google CEO. He says the company will take greater control of the Nexus smartphones. No time frame for this will happen or stated, but it most likely will be this year with whatever. I think maybe just they're afraid since HTC is doing it. I'm just guessing, but at least that's the word is. But what do you think about them taking greater control? I mean, me personally, it's fine. I just want them to give me more features in stock Android so that I can actually like stock Android. Because the fact that I have a phablet here, it doesn't do split screen. I can't multitask properly. To me, makes no sense.
Yeah, true. They need to start adding more, I would say, vendor services into the baseline for Android. I'm not too sure what more control means, because we've seen from the Galaxy line that this is where you have, the next big up-and-comer in the hardware manufacturing for Android. They go to the Galaxy side of things to kind of showcase what they're going to have next. Samsung did it, LG's done it, Huawei's done it now, HTC's done it. HTC, did HTC do it?
They did the Nexus One.
They're the first one.
They did the original one. Yeah.
Maybe
not so much for HTC. Maybe not so much for HTC.
They did the first 3 Android phones.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The remember what's the first Android phone again?
Or Sidekick?
Not Sidekick.
No, HTC.
Oh God!
I had somebody look at my channel.
Can somebody please tell me what was the name of the first Android phone I owned?
I have a review of it.
The Dream.
No. Dream was the development one. Oh my God!
What the hell was the name of this?
Google, come to my rescue.
HTC One. It was the Google G1.
G1. Yes.
G1.
Oh yeah.
G1.
I had the G1 for the longest time. I remember that because Warren was using Windows Mobile.
Yeah, Windows Mobile at the time.
I came over. I was like this. Yeah, he's like, take your Sidekick shit out of here. I was like, it's not a Sidekick.
Don't take this guy shit. I think I had the Touch Pro too, so I was like, I got the slide-up keyboard, bro. Hold on, man. I'm still in this game. I just switched to Android until the Motorola Droid 1 came out.
Dude, man, I had that phone for years. I mean, like, I was able to throw Android. Which Android was it that the Droid first ran?
2.0. That was
2.0. Just I put 2.0 on that thing. I had Google Maps. I mean, that's when I was putting ROMs on that bad boy. I put up so many different ROMs on that thing. It was a beast, and I had
it back in the day.
Yeah, I had it.
Used it for 2 hours, and it was.
No. I bought the extended battery pack that made it last a whole day. I mean, that thing was a beast. My phone was this thick though. I mean, like literally.
It had the chin. It had the chin on it.
Yeah.
It had that bulky chin on the thing. I remember that. There was the same chin that my Droid 1 had. I think I still have my Droid 1 around here somewhere. That thing was a beast. It was a metal phone because it had a metal build to it. It had plastic on it. It had a nice glass covering the display. A slide-up keyboard. Every time you slide up, it would go Droid.
I remember that. Yeah, that's true.
And amazingly, it had a 16 gigs of SD card storage inside of it. It had a 16 gig card. That was like unheard of back then.
Yeah, man, storage back then was just. I mean, it's so funny how things have changed. I mean, when I also kind of look back when I first started using computers. So this is a while back, and I was using floppy disk. Actually, no, my school had the 512 5.5-inch floppy.
Oh my God! Where were you? Well, you went to school in the 60s, the 50s.
I was in Nigeria. Of course, we had 5.5.
When you go to, I went to school in Nigeria. I had 3.5-inch floppies.
I'm sorry. You went to because you went to private school. I went to military school, man. They give us whatever.
Are you telling me that the Nigerian military did not have 3.5-millimeter floppies?
It was only in the commandant's or principal's office. That's pretty much it.
There you go. He brings a stack of floppies.
Oh man. No. But in America, we had this thing called CD-ROMs.
Whatever.
Oh, God, I remember my first CD-ROM. My first CD-ROM was the works of Shakespeare. I read those things like it was like
gold.
Put this thing in the CD drive, and look, you can choose what story you want. I'm like, oh my God. This is amazing.
No, I
And-
mean,
and now
actually,
it's an
no,
app.
to actually put it this way, the first computer, but I thought of it as a video game, was the Commodore 64 with the tapes. I used to play Prince of Persia at my buddy's place.
Oh,
Man, it was. I mean, it was such an experience. Like, especially how tech has gone from that
Yeah.
to now. Like, you're looking for SD cards and you throw them
I
all over the
played
place.
Prince of Persia on a PC from a floppy disk. A floppy disk. That and Battle Axe. You can get like maybe
Wow.
2
Oh,
games.
Battle Axe, yes.
Oh,
No,
man.
Juan said his first PC actually had floppies too. The 8088 running DOS. Whew. Whew.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Serge says
That's when you had to know how to basically CD
didn't-
/R
wait,
/dir.
I mostly used computers in my own in school. I didn't actually own my own computer until I built my first one. I think it was either my senior high school or freshman year of college or something like that. I built an AMD Duron K7 machine.
Oh, wow.
My Serge here says he used a floppy to install Windows 98 and 2000.
Oh,
Also
yeah.
a zip drive. Wow. I mean, how many floppies did you go through, bro?
No, don't forget the zip drive. Remember when zipping stuff?
I Omega zip drive.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
mega zip drives. Oh my God! But they had
Those
like
things were this thick. They were like this
250 megabytes or something on those
Yeah.
things. It came out, freaking graphic designers and artists like swore by them, and then like literally like 6 months later, USB flash drives came out,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, "Yeah, bump that." And they would swear by those things, and it's like, "Stop! Here's a flash drive."
That's right. No, what was it?
My first PC was a Packet Bell. The first one we owned in home was a Packet Bell. Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. No. That's when we came here in Nigeria. The first PC I ever used was my dad's Mac. He bought a Mac to use in the office. It wasn't for everyone to use, but we figured out how to go in and play games on there. Because I remember it had a racing game.
And you're going left and right on the keyboard.
First thing all the kids were allowed to use was a Packet Bell, and it was when we moved to the States. And then I bought a compact. Oh, never again. And that compact was the reason I learned how to start building computers, because I was so pissed off at that purchase, man.
My first PC was in I built my first PC fall of '99, 2000, and I built it with this guy from my church who was a plumber, but he knew how to build PCs. And the only reason why it's so vivid is because we tried to install Windows 98 and we couldn't. So ME just came out, and ME was the only thing that I could install on my machine. It was I had an Athlon processor. The first Athlon was clocked to 700 megahertz. When I got to school, I overclocked that thing to 1.1. I had no liquid cooling, so since it snowed, I opened up my window, open up the case, put my PC there to cool
Holy
it.
Lord.
Because if I didn't do that, my screen would do this twitch.
Dude, I did the test. I did the test because the first computer I built was an AMD. I can't remember what chip it was, but the compact had the first computer I built was an Intel. The compact had an AMD chip in there, and I did the whole take the fan off. Intel shuts down. The AMD burns up. Yeah, you might not want to run this thing on. You might not want to overclock this thing too much.
No, it was a great experience there, because I remember I learned I learned how to build my PC. I learned especially from friends in school. That's when I got my first DVR drive, and then people started ripping DVDs. I went to Blockbuster. Yes, I did it. I went to Blockbuster, rented Lethal Weapon 4. I put it in there, and it took me literally 20 hours to rip and compress and break down a DVD from raw files to AVI, and bring it out. The Lethal Weapon 4 was the funniest one because it had 4 audio tracks, and I picked the 4th track which had director's cut. So after spending 20 hours ripping this thing, I had a movie that the director was talking through the whole thing. I was like,
A full day of work.
A full day of work, because my machine couldn't do
Damn
it.
my ill-gotten gains.
Once I hit rip, and the funny thing, whoever it was one of the first software where no one had instructions for what your settings were. The guy was like, "Here's a software you can rip DVDs. Use at your own peril." And you're like, "Okay, fine. Do I set my codec to this? Do I change the ripping speed to that?" You're like messing around with it, and you take your whole day, and you're like, "My video is not."
I think we've gone way off the beaten path here.
I don't. It's fun reminiscing though. Yeah, I mean, Serge is like, he wished his AMD Athlon 21 Plus for his birthday.
I actually built one of
Nice.
those PCs. I actually built
That's
one of those
really nice.
PCs for a little while ago not a while ago, but when I was in college, I actually upgraded to a 2100 plus. That's the AMD Athlon XPs back in the day.
Yeah, Vicente said he used his bedroom fan to cool off his Intel PC.
Bedroom fan.
It's probably a standing fan. It's so funny, like all the things that we did in those early days that now, like literally, you buy a gaming PC. I'm using one from Lenovo. You just buy it; it's pre-built. To build PCs on it much easier. It's great. I mean, it's great the progress that we've come through.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
From back then, and then like even having a gaming laptop is even a more viable option for some people.
Now
we used to have CRT monitors. Don't forget that stuff. CRT monitors.
I had a good gateway CRT monitor for a little while. It's pretty good.
It was bad. Like I'm telling you, it was
a flat panel CRT.
When it comes to PC gaming, that's one thing that I actually appreciate by growing up in the era that we grew up in. We literally saw PC gaming come to fruition, and also just like blow everything else out of the water. Because right now, the gamer is at the cutting edge, you know, and it's still at the cutting edge of everything. So it's kind of cool to say, hey, before you used to use a floppy disk into your PC, you had to look for the directory, look for the executable, all in DOS, and then Windows came in. It was nice. You could click on stuff or go into your drives. It was nicer. But
Serge is talking about playing Counter-Strike. Remember playing Counter-Strike on UMass LAN parties? Oh my God, man.
I did that once. It was fun though. It was fun.
It's memories. It was good times. I mean, hopefully we see some kind of a renaissance. Not like that, of course. We're never gonna get that back. I mean, that was like, to me, that's the golden era of like.
Yes.
Nobody does LAN parties anymore. If you're doing a LAN party, that means you're at an esport event trying to win money.
Yeah. That's true. LAN parties were great back then. I mean, because LAN parties was the next extension of you hanging out with your friends and playing like football outside, you know. But at least you were gaming with. I mean, we had LAN parties in our dorm rooms and no communication, so all the doors were open. We were like, "Mike, what did you do that?" I mean, you're yelling across the hallway.
Now you have headsets, you have cameras that can basically superimpose your image on the game while you're playing. You can stream the games to millions of people as you're.
I think that's the reason.
It says ultra wide 4K CRT monitor. Yeah.
Oh shit. God. I remember. Now I think that's the reason why you see, like, since you all had to be together, everyone was together in one space. People were a little bit more calm and playing games. They get a little lamp, but everybody was calm. Now you see these rage quits, and it's usually because everyone's playing on their own. Remember I sent you those top 5 rage quits? It was like the funniest thing I ever seen. I've never seen somebody that pissed off at a video game in my life. And it's just like because they're playing by themselves. They're not playing in that atmosphere that we got to grow up sort of playing in.
No, that's very true. Well, I think we should definitely round up. But this is one thing I wanted to ask on entertainment. What trailers are you excited to see tomorrow? Because seeing the Super Bowl, right? There's gonna be lots of trailers, whether it's ads or movies. What trailers are you excited to see?
I think we'll see a surprise trailer for something we didn't expect.
Yeah, you know what? That's so telling. That is so telling. Because before, you don't even know what trailers were going to be out there. So it's like everything was a freaking surprise. Now it's like, we know everything. We can go on YouTube and find it. But yeah, we're looking for the one that's going to surprise us.
Guys, in the chat, any thoughts on trailers? I mean, I think Rogue One will be the surprise. Star Wars Rogue One. Yeah, because the movie isn't coming out till...
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hope they don't do that. The wait would be too long.
Yeah, I mean, I think because we know X-Men, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
let's see.
also Star Trek. I don't think there'll be a Star Trek one though.
They might release one more.
Yeah, Star Trek.
They kind of need to. That's the complaint to the first trailer.
But not Super Bowl. I think it might be too crowded for them. Aren't they just going to show the whole Batman v Superman movie cut up in 60-second spots?
They've already done that.
Yeah.
That's no. It's a 2-minute 12-second trailer, Juan, and they're not showing anything. This is just Juan playing digs on me here. Let's see. Avatar? No, Avatar hasn't even started shooting.
Wow, man.
Disney says they're not dropping the trailer for Rogue One.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But Disney bought 2 spots and didn't say what they are.
Oh, you know what?
The Incredibles 2 will show up.
No, Incredibles 2 is 2017. Juan isn't right. Juan doesn't know what
could it be a Netflix vehicle? Maybe.
Netflix?
Yeah, it could be something on Netflix. Maybe that would surprise all of us. Netflix just drops a show like, yeah, you guys didn't know we're doing this, but we just did it.
Maybe get a Game of Thrones trailer. I don't know.
Oh. No. Game of Thrones doesn't need.
Yeah.
They don't need. Game of Thrones just needs to.
They have enough. Yeah.
Any day.
Hey, HBO wants them damn $15 subscriptions.
Yes, definitely more Civil War stuff. Definitely right. Gambit, that might be a shocker. I mean, although Gambit is towards the end of the year, it's coming out towards the end of the year, but it would be
Jungle Book could be one. Jungle Book.
Have you guys seen the Jungle Book trailer?
That's amazing.
It looks good.
Jungle Book, Civil War, yeah, definitely right. Gambit, if Gambit dropped and if Channing Tatum can pull off Remy LeBeau well, then I would do this.
Channing Tatum can be Remy LeBeau, but to me, it's the one thing about Gambit that really makes him stand out is his relationship
with Rogue.
Temptation for death. It's like he has a little bit of almost like a suicidal streak in it because he wants to get with a woman who would literally kill him if he touches her.
Yeah, that's
so playing with that.
I hope they change and they recast the new Rogue who is goddamn sexy. More Deadpool. I agree. There's gonna be a lot of Deadpool. They even said that they're gonna do a whole push.
God, he's probably gonna get like 4 or 5 ads easily.
Yeah, but remember, his ads had nothing to do with the movie. That's the fun thing.
He's the most overexposed character right now, and I'm still loving every second of that overexposure. I'm like,
you got a lot of people that don't even know who he is.
Yeah, but remember all his ads, because Deadpool is the only character in comic books, at least one of the only characters that he breaks the fourth wall. So all his ads have nothing. Most of his ads have nothing to do with the movie. It's just, him being, a wise ass half the time. So I think you're going to see a bunch of just little wise ass crackings in then one trailer throughout like the Super Bowl. Because Fox had the initial projections for the movie was 50 million. Now it's at 100.
Wow.
For a February movie. So they're thinking if they spend a little bit more, they could probably push it to 100 plus.
Wow.
He says, Juan says he wants a straight up rom-com trailer. Haven't you seen, somebody made a rom-com trailer, like a fan made rom-com trailer of Deadpool. He's like the best Valentine's Day movie. And he just shows the parts where he's kissing his girlfriend, where he's sick, where he says he's going to make goodbye her, and then they're close together. And I'm just cracking up because, like, I saw comments of people going, wow, this is really interesting movie.
There's no idea.
No idea. I'm like, you have no clue.
I'm looking for that guy who actually takes that little snippet, shows it to his girlfriend, like, oh, this is what we're seeing. It's a nice little rom-com. We're gonna go see it on Valentine's Day. And she just walks in there not expecting this. Oh, this would be awesome.
Yeah.
It might not last long in the relationship, but it would be funny.
Yeah, Serge, let me know what movies you think flop in your book, since you said most movies do. But anyway, to round up, what can we expect from you next week, Warren, and also what you already have this week? Wait, sorry, my bad. Giveaway. I forgot to announce that because somebody just said, Miss Perfect said, giving away stuff. Yeah, the giveaway is a continuation from what we had last week. We actually have 2 giveaways running. The first one is the weekly giveaway. It's a very bad name. I need to find a better name for it. It's called the weekly monthly giveaway. We're giving away 4 prizes with that. We're giving away HTC 626. Also giving away a headset. Trying to find the prizes here. Yes, Turtle Beach headset, VX24, Audio-Technica ATH AG1, as well as an Amazon Fire tablet. So the link is in the description. Enter into that giveaway. And the next giveaway is one we're doing sponsored with Comcast. Now, that Comcast giveaway is only for the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico. That is, the prizes are iPad Air, a Bose Color Sound Link, and Skull Candy headphones, so you can enter that giveaway. The weekly giveaway is open internationally.
Can I answer?
No, you can't.
Dang
it! No, but anyway, the links for the giveaway in the description of the video, so definitely use that to enter. Sorry, Warren, go ahead. Tell us what to expect from you.
Okay, so last week we had what did we post? We posted up a couple of but actually we just posted up our giveaway. I just remember that now. We have a giveaway we're doing with the HD. Lots of giveaways going on. Gosh, we're doing a Valentine's Day giveaway for 2 HTC One A9s. That contest is going to run until February 10th. Definitely check that out on the channel. And definitely go up and enter. We have about 40,000 entries or so into the contest, and it's sort of growing exponentially. So definitely hop your way over there for your chance to win. As far as next week, I'll probably have my review of the long-term review of the Huawei Mate 8 and some of the cool gestures I kind of found with it that are pretty cool, and some of the neat little tricks. I think it's called EUMI, or Motion UI, that they have on here. It's actually got some pretty cool things that it does that you don't see in traditional ROMs made for the US. So definitely showing that off. I plus have a couple other Plantronics E500 Rig 500 gaming headphones that Chewy review, that we'll have those posted up as well, and a couple other smaller items that'll come along around for the next week, and whatever fun other news sort of shoots out there.
Oh, cool. Sorry. For some reason, I expected you to continue. I was like,
he was just going. It was wrapping up. So it was like, I don't want him to stop.
Yeah. How about you, Sam?
Many things, some things that should have been done already.
All kinds of things.
Yeah. So basically, Sam has 2 reviews he's talking about. One is
the monitor and the
Z34 monitor and his own personal server.
Oh no, we're not reviewing the server because it's messing up right now. No, actually, yes, we should do the server. So yeah, just a little backstory. I had a Synology, and I love my Synology, but I wanted to upgrade the Synology, and I figured, you know what? Why not build it? So I started a project a few months ago, and it's done. I put FreeNAS on it, and you guys are going to see exactly how I was able to, build the box from basically old parts that I had lying around. Basically, everything that wasn't the HTPC went in here. So I'll give you guys a walkthrough of exactly what I did, exactly what software I used, and what plugins I used on FreeNAS to try to get my home entertainment system going.
Juan says Honor 5X and Asus Zoom in the house next week. Yeah, Juan, let us know how the Asus Zoom pans out. I'd like to check that out. Serge says, speaking of servers, do you want to do Bitcoin mining? Found a place that doesn't charge for electricity.
hey, if you can get into that without electricity.
I think between all of us, we have enough computers and enough hardware to probably do some decent Bitcoin mining.
I mean, maybe we should. I mean, we do have 2 beasts that we can run.
Yeah, we do.
Good luck with that electricity bill, guys.
I know, right?
Hey, he said he found a place that no electricity bills.
Yeah. Sure. Send me an email. Contact@Booredatwork.com. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Boy.
He says, I'm going to hide the server.
I'm going to hide the server.
Oh, my God. On my end, though, I'm reviewing a gaming rig from Lenovo, the Y900.
I guess I have that, yeah.
What do you call the company again? Logitech new gaming keyboard. It's the 810. As well.
Mechanical?
What is it? It's mechanical, yeah.
Awesome.
It's a mechanical short-range keyboard. And then the Lumiere 950 XL. I finally have that in-house, so I'll let you know what I think. Though it's going to feel like the 950. Never mind, I'm just stop right there.
Do you have the? Does it come with the?
Oh no, I already have the Continuum dock. So.
Okay, good. So you can use it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm gonna have. And this week, what we had this week, you could definitely check out. I'll review the Lenovo Y700, so the Lenovo Yoga 700. Apologize. Mm-hmm. And then we also have. I can't remember what I did this week now.
Wow. Dude, what have you been up to? So many videos, bro. So many videos. That's what happened.
Lots of shady stuff.
Oh no, that's not true. I dropped my review of the Cytec Pro Flight Stick, the X55 Rhino.
Oh yeah.
Definitely, if you're getting a VR headset and you're gonna play Oculus, I actually just watched the gameplay video from IGN on Eve Valkyrie. Mm-hmm. Man, I can't wait, man.
Dude, have you gone on the what's it called? Oh man, what's the name of the game that our friend likes to play? Star Citizen. Have you gone on Star Citizen recently and seen the basically the modified city or spaceport? No. It's actually pretty cool. You should check it out.
No, I haven't yet. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So definitely check out all the channels. Check out, we'll start off with Mr. Juan Bagnell, who is not here but is here on the chat. You can follow him. It's Some Gadget Guy on Twitter, and you can check out his articles at pocketnow.com, as well as some of his reviews there on Pocket Now. And Mr. Warren Bowman at BW.com. That is his Twitter handle. His link. Check him out. It's bw1.com for the website and also on all the various social media channels. Mr. Black.
They're all the giveaways.
Yeah, Mr. Black Iron _man. That is Sam, aka the only Iron Man we have here. And that is his Twitter handle. And you can find all his reviews at Booredatwork.com and then on our YouTube channel. And of course, me. It's all Booredatwork, same thing. Yeah, definitely enter into all the giveaways. The links are in the description. You can win something. And always enjoy your entertainment.
Bam.